I've had a lot of personal challenges, and I had to fight back my personal decision whether to, because I do a show where I'm constantly saying that when bad things happen to good people, or you can have whatever you like when you have a great credit score. Often I've spoken about adversity in my attempt to make everyone understand that adversity shines on everyone's door. That, there's no way that anyone can be totally free from situations that are bound to occur in their life. Even in my own life recently, I've had a lot of personal issues to deal with. Several weeks ago, I walked into, and I dare say months ago, I walked into my primary care physician's office, and I had a 3-hour conversation with her, and I told her about how bad I had been feeling, how I was losing energy, things that were happening to me, the pain that I was suffering in my lungs, and, just going through a total different situation, something that I wasn't accustomed to. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm pretty much like the ever-ready bunny. I just keep going and going and going. Most days at Toyota, I would show up about 8:30 or so, and I'd work until I would just run out of gas. As long as that took, whatever the day needed from me, I would just give, because I enjoy what I do. But all of a sudden, my energy levels started decreasing. My ability to get up the next morning changed. There have been days when I could barely lift my legs, when I could barely stand up straight. It's been a very difficult time. As a result, I went to my primary care physician, and I had a 3-hour conversation, as I said earlier. So she had me tested. And recently I found out that I had cancer. Now, I'm not saying that as a result of the diagnosis that I received that tomorrow I'm not going to be here. What I'm saying is that adversity shines on everyone's door. And that what we need to do is to try to prepare ourselves as much as possible to deal with the things that are going to come into our lives. But the most difficult part of this entire scenario was I found out that I had prostate cancer. A few weeks later, I had another evaluation, and I was told that I had a spot on my lungs. Now, sitting in the doctor's office that day, it was bigger than life. It was the most difficult thing that I ever had to deal with, and I'm not going to lie, tears flowed from my eyes because I thought of how human I really was and how senseless I felt so much. I felt in a manner that's almost undescribable. I felt hopeless, and that my life at that point was being taken away, which isn't really true. It's not totally true. It's, the fact of the matter is that no matter what goes on in your life, you still have the right, and you still have, if you have faith and you believe in God, and you believe that you can overcome adversity, then, you know, the next thing I should have done was say a prayer and ask God for the strength to endure everything, because I'm getting health care. And then a few days later, I got another phone call, and they wanted to do a sonogram on my kidneys. So now I find out there's a spot on my kidneys, a spot on my lungs, and last but not least, about 2 weeks ago, I found out there's a spot in my lymph nodes. So as a result, I felt overwhelmed. My next question to my doctor was, or my primary care physician was, I need to speak to a therapist because this is going to be hard for me to deal with. Now, the only point I'm trying to make is that you have to go through adversity. Things are going to happen that are going to be beyond our control. But faith and thinking properly about how to approach things is going to give you the ammunition you need to get through whatever is presented. I feel that I'm a relatively strong person. I have a lot of love. I have a lot of close friends, a lot of support systems. I know my dad, who's a minister, is probably saying a prayer for me at this time. My brother's a minister as well. You just got to believe. At the end of the day, I have a few friends that call and they pray for me. I shout out to Myrna Shelton, who always calls me, 2 or 3 times a week, and she wants to bring me the latest sermon from her minister, who happens to be a great minister over at Franklin Avenue Baptist Church. I have other friends that are ministers that I'm sure are praying for me now that they know that these things are happening in my life. It's a difficult time because nobody really knows what tomorrow's going to bring. And soon I'll be starting chemo and going through whatever the process is to try to get through this thing. And if you see me and I've changed, or I lose my hair, or I lose a little weight, just say a prayer for me, and we're gonna get on with it. We're gonna, life is all about living. No matter what happens, bad things happen to good people. I will say this: over the last few weeks, I've been, taken back. And some things, I've had a setback, but we're going to get things back up and running. We're going to get, I don't know if you've gone to the website recently. I didn't realize that it was off, but we're going to get it back up and running. We're going to do what we set out to do. 3 years ago, over 3 years ago, because of the number of people that I came in contact with, largely females, mothers with children, who I saw them suffering as a result of the problems that they were having with their credit reports, and although they were working 2 and then sometimes 3 jobs, they couldn't afford to buy a car. They couldn't get approved for a car, even though they were working and giving 110%. This is the life that we have as American citizens. Well, right now, in the United States, we have a challenge before us with our congressmen and our senators with regards to the health care bill. These things are very important, and if we don't this thing with Colin Kaepernick and football players and the basketball players and baseball players, those are side issues, man. Those are quality of life issues. They're very important, but I think we've been thrown a curveball, because once we stop thinking about all the other adverse things that are going on and we take on something like this instead of the healthcare fight. As a person who's about to go through the fight of his life, I realize how important this is. As someone who is a conscious observer of what's going on in America right now, the situation that happened with Equifax a few weeks ago, let me go back. The situation that happened with Equifax a few months ago, but only was made available for people to understand, for people to know that their information had been given or had been stolen months ago. I believe it was in May or June, and this is September, and we're not paying attention to everything that's going on in our lives. You've been hoodwinked. We're being misdirected off the most important aspects of American life. We're being taken for a ride down a slippery slope where people are not paying attention to everything that's going on in America. I did, just a few minutes ago, I had one of the producers here at the show to pull up some information for me, just so I can make sure I have it right. The total population of the United States is 323 million people. The number of people whose information was stolen, supposedly quote unquote stolen, recently was 143 million people. Now, what I think is that's all the people that are 18 years and older, or people that are approaching the age of 18, that information was stolen, or people that have applied for credit in the United States. I'll tell you this, man. We're missing the boat. There's some things going on in this country right now that has very little to do with, kneeling for the flag. As someone who honorably served his country, I love America. I've always thought of myself as being very fortunate to be an American citizen. But there are things that are going on right now that we need to pay attention to. We got to get our minds back. We got to get our eyes open. We've got to attack this situation in 2 days. In 2 days, there's going to be a vote to take health care from 30 million people. Are you paying attention, or are you just sipping a coffee on kneeling for a flag? I'll be right back. This is You and Your Credit with Remus Bowman.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in, you can ask me questions, Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network. You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. That doesn't mean adversity won't knock on your door. But if you prepare yourself and you work hard enough to get the information you need to make great decisions, then you could overcome just about anything. You know, I may be going through an adverse situation, and one of my best friends is on the line. George, you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
And George knows pretty much.
You got an echo on your phone.
Hey guys, there's an echo.
Yes.
Mike.
I'll hang up and call back.
How you doing today, George Russell?
Yes, I'll hang up and call back.
Wow. There's always adversity, and into each life, some rain's gotta fall. You know, when I was a kid, I used to hate rainy days. But then, as I grew older, I realized that when the rain came, that was when the land can cultivate itself. Seeds can move from one position of the earth to another, then that the earth could cleanse itself of impurities. You know, we've all got to go through adversity. It builds character. You know, I wanted a few days ago, I really didn't know how I was going to deal with everything. You know, just a month or so, maybe 2 months, maybe a little bit more than that, before I realized that I had this problem, I had these two young ladies sitting in my office, and one of them was getting in the credit restoration program, and she and her friend both wanted to buy cars. And in my conversation with one of the ladies, she told a story about her mother. And in that conversation, she said that her mom, who had lost her husband some years back, advised her that she had cancer and that she wasn't going to fight. And she sat in my office and she was somewhat depressed because she didn't understand her mom not wanting to fight for her life. You know, these things, they become very overwhelming. They're powerful messages to our inner mind. You know, just think, what am I going to do? How am I going to overcome this situation? What's my life going to be like after I go through this? Hey, Mike, let me know if George comes back. You just never know what tomorrow's going to bring. You know, you could be walking down the street and someone could hit you with a car, or, you know, just anything can happen. Are you prepared? Can you accept the realities of life? But there's, like I said earlier, there are bigger things going on right now in these United States. You know, we found out that Facebook participated in the election with Russia. Now, I'm not saying that they did it intentionally, But sometimes we can allow ourselves to be too greedy. Our need to make money and to make our businesses grow and to be successful can overrule what's in the best interest of everyone else. Originally I was reading where President Obama had a conversation with Mark Zuckerberg last year and expressed to him what was going on. And Mr. Zuckerberg looked at President Obama as though he was crazy and thought to him, hey, you can't tell, this is America, this is a free enterprise system. You can't tell me that how to run my business. And so as a result, we've been hoodwinked. There have been massive amounts of misinformation advertised about a candidate that was untrue. We've had a FBI director being used as a pawn on a chessboard, and then he's back, and then sent away to cover the trail. George, you back?
I'm back.
Let's talk about it, man. Can you help me out, bro?
I've been here the whole time. I'm all in. Keep going.
One of the best things about being me is having some of the friends that I have. I appreciate you, brother.
Keep going.
I was watching a sermon last night, and I apologize to everyone who may or may not be interested in hearing this story. But these are important times, not just for me and what I'm going through, but for our country. And everything that's going on has to do with your economic situation.
Right.
I mean, it all comes back to money. Think about it. We're selling advertisement to a foreign country who has a dog in the race, who they want to become president because they feel that this guy, and I'm not trying to say that our current president is, is a willing participant in this. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't come after me, Mr. Trump. I have no interest in you, in you even knowing my name. But the fact of the matter is that I could remember one of my relatives telling me to look at the videos on YouTube. Look at the videos, and they're saying this about Hillary, and Hillary did this, and Hillary had sex with other women, and Hillary did this and that and the other, and look, there's proof of it on YouTube. So I submit that it wasn't just Facebook that was taken advantage of. It was also, Gmail? Everybody. The United States of America, the democracy that we claim to have, has been sold. Now, are we going to get it back? How are we going to get it back? What do you think, George?
Hey, man, I say pray. Pray to the power of God. That's your only chance right now. That's it. I'm going to say pray. I'm going to pray for the president and everybody else.
Every man for himself, God for us all?
That's right.
It's an interesting thing, man. It's a very interesting thing that today you have an opportunity to stand up to power, but because we're being diverted, we're being herded like sheep, man. We've been herded like sheep and directed over a cliff. It's the same playbook that happened last year when Comey came out 11 days before the election and gave us all this misinformation. and changed and altered the course of history by having, and I applaud the NBA players. I applaud them. I got to the NBA and the NFL players. I applaud them. But guys, you're still missing the boat. It's about economics. It's about the fact that LeBron James, chances are somebody has all your personal information. Chris Paul, somebody has all your personal information, buddy. So here's the thing. I have what's known as a V card, and if you go to it, it's m.myvbc.net/R Bowman. Now, if you would go to that V card, you can register for LifeLock. That's the only way that you're going to be able to keep yourself from being taken advantage of. Because what will happen is there's a company out there that can build a hedge around you, that can protect you and notify you whenever anybody runs your credit, and make sure that if somebody's trying to steal your information or take advantage of you financially, then they can protect you or make you aware of it. But if you sit there and you divert your attentions to something that's not going to change tomorrow, right now, the direction that we're going in, it's not going to happen. There's a whole thing that's working in the country right now where there's, people are standing on, they've taken their corners, they're taking their sides. But you got to wake up and realize it's all about your money. At the end of the day, it's about class and money, and it's about who gets to be in business for themselves and who gets to shine their shoes. If you want to be in business for yourself, then protect yourself. If you want to be able to live in a free society and have the economic growth or economic opportunities that you need to have, then you got to protect yourself. Otherwise, you can find yourself in a situation where somebody's having a party at your expense. I don't know what else to say. We're just not paying attention. 143 million people in our population, information has been put in the open market. I'll go even further than that. Every day I have between 10 and 20 emails or text messages from different companies telling me that I'm approved for a loan. If you're having a situation where every day somebody's texting you and sending you information, unsolicited information, that you are approved for a loan, chances are that's because they got your information. They got it from somewhere. How did you get on their radar? Hey, it's time for our second break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. We're going to get back on it, man. We're going to come alive, and we're going to help you make great decisions at You and Your Credit. I'll be right back.
For a home to live stream your next event, give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a golf course that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
What's up, readers and shakers? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis with Lewis Armstrong Family Services here live at New Orleans Talk Network. We're here every Thursday at 11 a.m. Come join us. Thank you.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
You can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever you like.
You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. Everyone, I just posted on Facebook my V card, and my V card shows a picture of me, and if you'll go to just press the V card, then it'll shows a picture of me. Let's see, I don't know if I can get this up. This is the V card here, and that's what it looks like. On the V card, at the top, right here, says LifeLock. If you'll press that, you'll be able to register for LifeLock right there. It's only $100. As a matter of fact, it's not even $100. It's $99. You could register right now for LifeLock on that V card on Facebook today. And this V card's going to be on my webpage and on my Facebook page and on Twitter and on Instagram. And you don't have to worry if somebody's stealing your information. But you don't think about it. All of a sudden, I'm getting a lot of different text messages and emails. You're approved. You're approved. Hell, the last thing I'm thinking about right now in the situation I'm in is making additional commitment. The number one commitment I want to have, I've got to make today, is to try to get through the adversity that's fallen on my doorstep and keep it moving. You know, do I really? Now, a lot of times people will assume that they really don't have anything to lose. Why is anybody going to steal my identification? I'm poor. I only make $10 an hour. There's nobody that's going to give me credit. Everybody's turned me down. That's not so. There are companies out there that have set up opportunities to manipulate this opportunity and tag you with the bill and then fight you in court to make you pay for something you didn't buy. Man, it's more serious than you ever realize. You know, in some cases, and over the years, and I've been doing the show for over 3 years now, we've seen opportunity situations where teenage people have walked into the dealership and had people put their names on home purchases, auto purchases, light bills, cable bills, every type of financial instrument you can imagine. But because we don't protect ourselves with easy marks. Now, you may not see yourself as an easy mark, but realistically, every 2.5 seconds, someone's identity is being stolen. Think about it. 143 million people have had their information publicized to or being put into a system that they had no control over at all. Could this be you? Could you be one of the people? Now, when you wake up one morning and all of a sudden you have anywhere from, a few different inquiries on your credit report that you didn't know you had because you didn't request them. When you wake up one morning and someone's stolen your bank account information and written checks against your account, and it wasn't you, or when someone's stolen your credit card information and used your credit limit for their personal gain, so what are you going to do then? You don't have to go farther than a look in the mirror at yourself, a self-examination, to realize that you could be easily victimized by the system that's in place. And the fact of the matter is there's so many things that are going on right now that we're just not paying attention. You're just not getting it, man. No wonder you can never get out of the situation that you're in. You're not willing to do anything to get out of it. You want, come on, just knock me out, man. I love sleeping on the ground. I love going through adverse situations. This is not going to happen to me, and you're the person that it always happens to. What's next in your life? Then you're going to blame everyone else because you didn't react when you had an opportunity to go in a different direction. But it would be the same thing for me if I don't take an opportunity to react now that I know that I have cancer and that there are things that I've got to do in order to prolong my life, especially in lieu of the fact that I have children, grandchildren, a spouse, family members, friends, good friends that I love and that care for me. So what kind of selfish ride would I be on if I didn't do anything or do everything I could to try to make sure that I would continue to be here to enjoy the life that, that the people who mean so much to me and that I mean a lot to, if I didn't continue to work hard to try to cultivate those relationships. Well, I don't know, man. Are we thinking at all? Are we just thinking about, I don't know, someone kneeling for a flag? I think it's been, I love the idea of, getting, having everybody talk about this information. But there's just so much that should take precedent over this right now. 143 million people have had their personal information stolen. Let's make it worse than that. We don't know who stole it. Did the Russians steal it? Did WikiLeaks steal it? Steal the information? Have you thought about it? Could this be something that you're going to be dealing with soon? Are you getting emails or text messages saying that you're approved for loans? I had two men show up in my office last week. And I think I hope that you caught the story that I did about a month or so, maybe 2 months ago, about participating in a situation that I felt was something that I was doing as an investigate to investigate a situation on the internet. And these two guys look just like the image of the people who defrauded me. And I sit there in my office and I'm talking to him, and I hear the guy with his English dialect, and I hear the other guy sitting there, and they're both looking at me, having a conversation with me. And, the weirdest part of this whole conversation is that they were attempting to get me again. But I think something happened where they became aware that I realized who they were. Because in the big scheme of things, what I was told was that these guys were going to come back the following day and provide the information that was going to be needed in order for them to buy a car. But they never showed up. I wanted to play it all the way out because I believe that, that this is a situation that you have to play all the way out when someone has the audacity to come all the way from California, San Francisco, to New Orleans, just to meet me. And the weirdest thing is that the guy knew who I was, because in our conversation, when the transaction was going on, the guy says, "Are you the guy on the New Orleans Talk World?" No. On the New Orleans Talk Network with this show called You and Your Credit? And of course I said, yes. He said, "That's interesting because I've watched your show several times." You never know who's watching you or what challenges are coming your way. Hey, it's time for our final break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm Remus Bowman. We'll be right back.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in, you can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. This is you and your credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm very confused right now. The thing that confuses me more than anything else is the fact that we all realize that there's all these things that are at work against us. And in many cases, we won't do anything. Nothing. We'll stand on the side and let it roll. Is that the way you really want to play it? And then after, we're in a situation where we just can't do anything about it. You've been taken advantage of, and you know it's coming, but you're not doing anything. You're sitting and you feel helpless. It's almost like the way I felt a few weeks ago when I found out I had all this stuff going on. Just, wow, what am I going to do? Hey, I'm going to pray and ask God to show me, to direct me, give me the energy, give me an idea of what my next move should be. What am I going to do? I'm going to follow the word. And at that time, I'm going to do whatever is supposed to be done. I believe that. I believe in divine intervention, but more than divine intervention, I believe that God created doctors, lawyers, and even presidents for a purpose. And if there's one thing that I would like to think is about to happen in the United States as a result of the situation that's happening right now, is that we're going to learn to be more inclusive of each other as Americans. We're going to learn that we all are vulnerable. We all have vulnerabilities. But first and foremost, we need to get on the phone. We need to call our senators. And someone like John McCain, who has obviously been a maverick for the people, just serenade him. People in the Washington, D.C. area should pack up and head to Congress to participate in this vote that's about to happen. A life without health care, man, it could happen to anyone. It's a hell of a deal. 30 million Americans without health care or without the ability to afford health care. That's some serious stuff. What are you doing? Are you giving any thought to the potential of what your life would be like if you couldn't see a doctor? If you need glasses and you couldn't go to an optometrist, how would that affect you? Would you be able to drive Probably not, because you probably couldn't see. So your whole life is going to be affected because of your inability to see. It's the same way with your financial situation. 143 million, your information's out there, the wrong people have got it. What are you doing about it? There are companies that are set up to protect you, but you want to go it on your own. I've been a member of LifeLock for 3 years. I've had other friends that are members of LifeLock, and I can honestly tell you, everyone that I know that's been a member of LifeLock and still is happy to be there. And they've told me in no uncertain words that they felt more confident as a result of being a member of LifeLock, because they've gotten notifications when people have tried to steal their information. You can go to my Facebook page, Twitter page, LinkedIn page, LifeLock's there. You can call me and I'll send it to you. My phone number is 504-274-8117, or you can go to my Facebook page. I'm Remus Bowman at Facebook, Remus Bowman on YouTube, You and Your Credit on YouTube, You and Your Credit on Facebook, FES Credit Restoration on Facebook. There's so many opportunities to communicate with me. Get the information you need. Don't sit and wait for the opportunity to happen to you. Don't be a victim. Hey, this has been You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman. If God's willing, I'll see you next week.
I said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, you can have whatever you like. I said you can have whatever